What's up ladies and gents, Noli here and welcome back to another Payday 2 Secrets video. This is going to be my last 10 things you didn't know about Payday episode, at least for now, as I'm running low on interesting and unknown facts after this one's through. If you want to see the series continue, be sure to comment down below with any secrets you think should make it into a video that I've missed so far. Remember to follow the like or dislike challenge from previous episodes to give me an idea of just how well I've done here. This being the final episode for now, I think this is my best set of facts so far, and I'm positive I can catch most of you out with a couple of niche and even scrap mechanics later on in the video. So let's make the most of our final top 10 and dive into number 1. Just like last episode, we're starting off with some more video game Easter eggs. I call this 10 things you didn't know, but in actuality this episode has more than 20. Heading over first to Counterfeit, you guys must have seen the Left 4 Dead figurines in a child's bedroom in the house attached to the money printer. But there's also a more subtle reference to Black Mesa, found on the White Mesa labelled Unlock panels. Black Mesa is of course the research corporation at the heart of the Half-Life series. Sticking with Half-Life and the elusive Half-Life 3 in particular, on the Murky Station heist within the underground vents, a method of map traversal synonymous with the Half-Life games, we see the letters HL3. Clearly Overkill are still holding out hope. Moving over to Boiling Point, there are a couple of gamer references found here. First of all, on a whiteboard in the lab itself, we see Mudkips is a lie, seemingly a combination of the I heard you like Mudkips meme and the famous Cake is a lie from Portal. Staying with the level and its unique Russian enemy types, supposedly the Russian bulldozers exclaim,
"Graj some more,"
a reference to one of the Russian heavies' favourite lines in Team Fortress 2. Finally, yep, that's 6 Easter eggs for the price of 1. Have you ever noticed the letters typed into the displays of the old landline type phones? This is an asset found in multiple locations around the game, shown here in Nightclub. The letters are IDKFA, a classic cheat code from Doom, standing for ID keys and full ammo. Obviously Overkill love the classics. I think we've started off things easy, so how about some perk deck references? A lot of the perk decks in the game have their specific perks named after related media or concepts. For example, Jiro's consist of the animals tattooed across his body. The Sociopath deck references the titles of Hotline Miami missions, No Talk, Tension, Clean Hit, Overdose, and Showdown. The Ex-President deck takes its naming from some of the Ozaki 8 challenges Bodhi undertakes, the Emerging Force, Life of Ice, The Awakening Earth, whilst Point Break is of course the name of the film, and the Perfect Line is the status said to be achieved by someone who has completed all of the challenges. Anarchist may have my favourite naming system, drawing on Sydney's punk background with some classic punk rock tracks. Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones, Straight Edge by Minor Threat, Death or Glory by The Clash, Rise Above by Black Flag, and Lust for Life sung by Iggy Pop. I had a bunch of comments on my heist randomizations video which mentioned the chance for extra Murkies or extra loot with the artifact, which was said to be a 50-50 chance. Well, in actuality, you can dictate that chance yourself, forcing the positive outcome and meaning no extra patrols if you keep this little secret in mind. First, note that the event occurs 5 minutes after entering the compound, so you're not caught off guard. When you're nearing that time, head up to where the additional mercs are landing in and occupy the space where the chopper drops them off. If the game sees there's an object in the way, it will automatically choose the other location, meaning you can always guarantee the extra loot over a slightly more populated map. Number 4 is another simple one, but an internal game reference which I find to be quite meta. As many of you know, the Heat Street heist features a set of missing animal posters which can be collected to earn you the achievement Zookeepers. But did you know that 4 of the masks released alongside the heist during the Search for Kento event are of those animals pictured on the posters? Bernie, Fluffed Up, Stoibs and Tempe make up the squad brought to life from the heist itself. Up next, it's time for another set of Easter eggs and references, this time edging toward the more generally pop culture related. First up, have you ever wondered what the deal was with the briefcase that Bane tells you to steal in Boiling Point? Well, it's almost certainly a reference to the video of the Biting Elbows song that accompanied Hardcore Henry and its heist in Payday 2. The video is inspired by Hardcore Henry's first-person gimmick and is pretty cool in its own right. Overkill went wild with the next set of Easter eggs, adding some brilliant pieces of dialogue to the NPCs on the car shop heist. These include references to The Matrix.
We need to think outside the box. Take it to the next level. There is no spoon, yeah?
Back to the Future.
Yes, Doctor. It will hit speeds of 88 miles per hour.
And of course, original Top Gear, which has some excellent lines poking fun at the old hosts of the show, Clarkson, Hammond, and May.
Yes, Mr. May. It would be a pleasure to let you drive it. But there is a minimum speed limit, which I think, perhaps you'd be interested in our new range of hearses?
Finally, from this section, the Lady Justice statue that used to stand in the centre of the old safe house hides a subtle Metallica reference, which is now lost to time since Hodgson decided to burn up the old lady. Lady Justice is one of the symbols of the band associated with the album and Justice for All. Their rendition of this statue is affectionately named Doris, which you'll see written on the line of her robes on the original safe house version. The one found in the Kill House course in the new safe house has been burnt to the point that it's no longer visible, so only the real OGs will have ever seen this Easter egg. Let's keep it classic for number 6 as well, although this one is maybe a bit unfair as it's never been implemented into a publicly playable version of the game. But it's a concept few are aware of that I think could have added an element of realism to the game had Overkill stuck with it, so maybe keep it in mind for Payday 3. Anyway, I bet you didn't know that bags were originally intended to behave realistically, more drastically impacting your speed and screen tilt, as well as being damageable. The main concept Overkill scrapped was the ability for your loot bags to be damaged and leak their contents, making them worth less but more easily transported. This would have rewarded well-organised teams who could protect their loot with better payouts, but also helped teams that were struggling by allowing them to move less inhibited, but at a financial cost. I believe you can still see some of the remnants of how this mechanic would have been visually represented on your stationary loot bags in the Safe House raid. Could have been frustrating, might have been amazing, definitely would have been buggy. Some food for thought. I hope you don't feel too cheated by the last fact. To make it up to you, how about more lesser known facts that you can make use of in your general gameplay? During stealth, there are a fair few heists that offer unique environmental interactions. For example, you can set the alarm on the trucks in the front courtyard of Shadow Raid to attract a guard's attention. Some more obscure options include being able to turn on the TV downstairs in the Alesso heist for the same distraction effect, or calling the elevator in Golden Grain Casino to easily hide body bags on the map. Oh, also, if you're ever wondering what happens when you fail the pyrotechnic show in the Alesso heist, I messed up 3 times in a row so you don't have to. Basically, an elevator is called carrying 2 guards to make this part really difficult to stealth now, so pay at least a minuscule amount of attention. Here's a fun one for you. I'm sure that you all know that Vlad's brother-in-law Harudin is modelled and voiced by Almir Listo, the global brand director at Starbreeze Studios. Also, you should know that Ulf Anderson, ex-CEO of Overkill, gives his voice and likeness to Wolf. But there are more Payday developers and ex-employees represented in the game. In fact, Almir even had a prior role offering up his looks to the taxman in Undercover. Remember, this was a fair few years back as it's taken from Payday the Heist, so don't expect a flowing beard. Ilya Petrusik, a lead level designer on some of Payday 2's best heists, is of course the sniper of the same name, who can be hired as an asset on a few heists in the game. But he also gave his good looks to the CFO in the Diamond heist. Finally, the bank manager, specifically found on First World Bank, is modelled after the infamous Bo Anderson, brother to Ulf and most recent ex-CEO at Starbreeze. Following up from developer likenesses, let's scour the map to find some hidden developer messages, some of which are located outside the play space. I'm obviously well acquainted with most of these as I free cam more than I play at this point thanks to the Payday storyline series. Heading over to Big Bank and flying over to the left side of the building, we'll see the message, "You can't be out here," which, yeah, I guess you're right. Both the train and Alesso heists hide similar messages outside of the viewable map. Lucy was here being etched on the outside of the warehouse in the first, and Franz being added to the one viewable on Alesso when we fly through the tunnels in the Gensec arena. And finally, for out of the map secrets, GoBank holds some get rich tips for you aspiring entrepreneurs out there if you fly just outside of the map wall. The biker heist holds one of the few developer text messages that is viewable without the use of mods. When heading into the bunker, you can see "I am free" exclaimed behind the power box, and similarly in an obscure corner of Meltdown, we see "I moved" spelled out for us on the dock floor. I've always found these to be interesting, seeing as how most players will never get a chance to see them, so let me know if there are any that I missed during my exploration on the series so far. To round things off, if somehow you knew everything this far in, to get this last one you'd need to have a very thorough understanding of the Payday 2 damage formula, because a concept known as damage granularity might change everything about how you see these seemingly simple damage numbers next to your weapons. We could get a little mathsy here, but I'd rather save that for another video which explains the damage equation in depth. Instead, the one secret takeaway from this is that damage applies in multiples of 1 out of 512 of an enemy's health, and will always round upwards. What this means is, no weapons, no matter how weak, can take more than 512 shots to kill. This can be incredibly useful. You see here I'm using the flamethrower, which I have modified to deal only 3.2 damage, to kill a death sentence minigun dozer in just over 500 ammo. It has 48,000 HP, which without granularity would mean I'd need to hit him 15,000 times. But in actuality, I only have to hit him 512 times. It's actually possible that the flamethrower can become your most deadly option. As you see here, I've been working on my crime spree video, and up there on very high crime sprees where enemy health is entering into the millions, killing cops becomes virtually impossible. That means when you run into missions like Interception, the Biker Heist Day 2, where killing an enemy is necessary to proceed, you're going to need to use this mechanic to get through the heist. Keep this in mind before you write off these low damage, high fire rate weapons in the future. If you want to understand the maths behind this more and maybe develop a better appreciation for why you're hitting certain breakpoints, keep an eye out for another video coming up on the channel soon, analysing this in depth, similar to how I broke down the threat system. Big shout out to the Long Guide, which as ever is an amazing resource when researching these obscure systems in Payday 2. And that does it for this video. I think we had a few more than 10 secrets, so let me know which ones were your favourites down below. As I mentioned, for this series to continue, I desperately need more secret inspiration, so keep them coming either on YouTube or over on my Twitter, link below. Before I bring out my complete crime spree guide, I want a little more definitive experience with the mode so I can make the best recommendations for all levels of play, so thank you for bearing with me on that. Also, I'm now ready to put money on us getting a Payday 2 update in October, so quote me on that if we don't. Thanks for watching today's video, and I'll see you all very soon. As ever, thank you very much to my Mean Infamy patrons and above. If you want to join that infamous club to see yourself in the credits or get early exclusive access to my videos, including the story videos, check out my Patreon link below. Remember the Discord is open to all if you crave some more Payday discussion. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all very soon for the next one.